everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Jeskai Lessons again. I didn't necessarily change much in terms of what you will see in the video, but we did talk at length in the outro, and I was pretty much asking for some advice. Maybe some people would play the deck as well and maybe have some insight, but as you can see, our sideboard is cards that we pulled out or cards that we wouldn't think about putting into the deck or back in. For example, we had 3 authorities in, and the outro I ended up cutting one and putting more things in. We had 2 of these, we ended up cutting one. We had none of these, but this is an option. Avatar's Wrath, there was 2 of them in the deck, but I said since then I moved them over here. River Regent, I cut one because with kind of the accumulated knowledge and stock up, I don't really want to cast this for its other side. I more cast it for its 6 mana side than anything, so I can trim down on it. And I think Revelation might just be better in general, so we're kind of looking at that as well. And we put in this Pinnacle Star Cage after I talk about it at the end, and then we go into Iros. We go up to 3 Firebending Lessons, and then the things have been trimmed down to try to make this a bit more relevant on its own. So the deck games the games you will see are going to be a bit different, and then we're going to talk about some of the changes, and then we'll go from there. So I hope you all enjoyed the video, and we get some pretty good ones. We get a very long match in this one, about 24 minutes of a very long grindy match, so you'll get to see, and then we can kind of talk about the stuff in the outro where I talk for about 9 minutes on what things I would like to change and why I want to change them, and looking for advice if anybody has any idea of how to maybe make it a little bit better, or maybe a card I'm kind of undervaluing and not putting into the deck. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into the games. I mean, sure, I guess. I gotta shock maybe played that. I don't want to put that in the graveyard considering we only have so many. Reanimator? Who would have thought? Not I, said me. Blow him for a turn, I guess, because we just need to find our board wipe. Sure. This will basically do nothing. Sure. We'll basically die on ETBs unless we find a flanker. Sure. Go ahead. They have to decide this. Let's see what they do. Go with Arden. Sure. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sure. I'm not pumped about this 8/8 being made, but I kind of think I have to. Sure. They grab land and then play Overlord here. They can't resist. They're going to. Uh-huh. Enough. You ready to gain 1 more life, I guess? These two? Go ahead. This blocks here. Or it doesn't. Sure. Get our thing up. Get our lesson slot up. They don't really have anything going for them, I guess. It might just, to me, be... I almost want it to just be Shiko cast stock up. Seems reasonable to me. Then we can grab the final land we need. And this isn't online, so I'll let it go away for now. We'll go for stock up again. Then we have land plus revelation. They haven't hit the card yet. So there might be a ton of them in their hand. They have 27 cards left. Well, there's 2 of them, so maybe I lied. And that now misses, which is quite funny. Sure. Would you like to attack? Sweet. I guess we just like hit them, right? Here's 4. They can discard buyback. The thing is, if they do that, it doesn't really bring anything good back for them, I don't think. Sure. Like, they might discard something good here, but I feel pretty okay with where we're at. What are you returning? Second one? I feel like if they bring this back, I almost just let it happen. Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah. Sure. What do you got for me? Your dredgers here. Sure. The odds I can't just like smoke them here after they gain 3 more life. It's not great, by the way. Sure. Their end step. At the beginning of your end step, if you draw a card, if you do discard a card unless the permanent enter the battlefield face down. Let that resolve. Sure. Return the hand. 4 damage. All right. Here. Go to combat. Here. Yeah, it's fine. Here. 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 We have 14 cards left. Sure. Go ahead. I guess. I don't know what else to do. Like, I could stock up there, maybe find authority or something. I don't really play any counter spells. We're mainly just board interactive. So I could have like stock up, maybe found authority, played authority. Obviously their overlord's gonna happen, but yeah, I mean, that's the best part about flanker. We just get to kind of do what we want whenever we want and exile stuff on curve. But that game definitely went from like us hard losing to us having a very good chance of winning because we found the flanker. That's my favorite part about Shiko too, is like this could be a soul guide lantern, I guess, but I do like it just in mirrors because it can just hit your opponent. It's like Brazen Borrower used to be. 3 mana, flash it in, scry, and just start hitting your opponent until they finally decide to remove it, and then we lightning helix them out of the game. So with that, we'll take it. Who said we're playing red? Was it me? Says I. See? We'll keep that. We'll just use it to like find a red source or a land at least. Authority. Oh yeah. We're here for it, dude. Are you artifacts? You just mono white. This red source. What about 2 red sources? What about authority that counts? What, can I put all 3 of these in my hand? I'd like that a lot, actually. This weirdly doesn't miss anymore. I can't cast anything on their turn. So it feels like I'm just supposed to smoke this voice. Should I lightning helix it and save this? Yeah, because Helix has the option of going face and at planeswalkers and stuff, where this does not. Also, this fuels later accumulative wisdoms. Ah, we should exile that. All right. We'll take a land. Do I want river region or I want flanker? Or do I want stock up? I think I want stock up probably. No. Sure. In this matchup, it seems like we're going to have to go long and be able to have our lands live. Caretaker talent. Overlord. Sure. Draw a card. I actually just played mono white at F&M this week. It was quite the experience, I'll tell you that much. Destroy target attacking creature. What if we do stock up again? Okay. Authority. I don't really need to land. Let's take the technique. And let's exile this. Very cool. What do you got for me? Jeskai Revelation is going to make this matchup very hard for our opponent, in my opinion. They have the same amount of lands. They play another Overlord. Wish I had the authority in play, but we're just going to Avatar's Wrath all this. And then they obviously don't come back, right? So my only issue is like we're kind of just spinning our wheels a bit. I'm at 0. I'll take extra life on these turns if they're just going to keep casting Overlords, you know? They're probably holding maybe like a get lost or something. We just really haven't given them a target yet. Sure. Yeah, this is just hard mono white tokens. So far, everything they've played is what I feel like It's the exact same thing I've done. Okay. Just getting it out of the way. I respect that. I respect that a lot, yeah. So I need one more lesson before I really want to jam this Shiko. We're not really going to need our spell to be uncounterable in these matchups, so... Five's a lot to pick off that later. Here. We could reversal. I don't really want to reversal a 1/1 though. The other thing is I am vulnerable to mill out in this matchup. Our revelations have to be incredible. Carrot cake. Not the cake, dude. What do we got? Sure. Uh-huh. Oh boy. Here. Yes. Obviously it enters tapped. We're just going to look to airbend reversal the Overlord. I thought I had 4 in there. I'll take an Ultima, I guess. I thought I had 4 in there. I'm so stupid, bro. I saw that at 5 and my brain just did not work. Oops. That's pretty bad. Like misplay, but it'll be okay with this Ultima draw. Now I don't even like... Okay. Yeah. Now I almost just want to airbend my Shiko. Just take the big hit. What would you like to do? I can't believe I made that mistake. So we end up taking 7 here. Am I okay with that? Probably. Six, yeah. Because we gained 2 off these entering. That's why I said 7. Airbend this. I still can't believe I did that. I would have just stocked up. I was just like, I just kind of want to put the top 3 in my hand. But maybe just stock up in general. It's just better regardless. What a draw, huh? Here. We'll take that, because that means all their other artifacts are gone as well. Here, like all these are go. Nice. Well, we're kind of rebounding after making some pretty poor plays. Here. Yep. What a game. So here's the thing, by the way, you don't actually respond to this if they have more than 1 token. You wait for the reflexive trigger to happen, which is now. And then we just remove that. Don't give them more tokens to operate with if we don't have to. Here we have 5, 9, so I want to play this in stock up. Yeah, because I don't have my card in there now. That would make a lot of sense to cast, but you know, it's whatever. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not crashing out. You are. Yeah, deal. And this is where I really wanted this card at. It's just in spots like this where we've used kind of the burn aspects and the airbending to do like weird, tricky things. We just want to be able to get through. They want to Ultima this. Sure. I'd like to draw 3. You can have that, Shiko. Sure. My turn. Here. Information is key. Billing me is also key, probably in their mind. You could interact with this, but we're not going to, obviously. So, turn. Pass. None. 1. Sure. Now we respond. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Here. Ounce. 4. We'll gain 4. Slowly but surely, we're working on it. You have land play caretaker's talent. That enters tap 2. Oh, another authority. A cheap way to turn my prowess up a notch here. Authority. We're looking. We're trying to hit them for about as much as I can this turn, I think. I'm not sure I need that. So this is 6. And that would be 10. Not bad. I'm kind of okay if they go like Ultima here. Oh, okay, sure. I'm also kind of okay with that. Sure. I do basically have to have a River Regent make full contact at some point. Like, it's really going to matter whether these cards make contact or not, whether I do anything good. I guess Sheikah might be the better option. I want more card selection here than I do just the top 3. What? There we go. We're just taking spells. End. Am I only on 2 of these now? I probably need to be on 3 if this is roughly what I'm at. In terms of what I'm doing. 8, 9, 10. They can ultimate me twice. Sure. Can't ultimate me now. Sure. I know the rest of my deck. There's a lot of lands in there. You guys have all that memorized, by the way? Do you know my 19 cards in order? You should. Oh my, look at the lands. Sure. How does one win here? How does one win here? Sure. Sure. It might even be a weird way where I just stall out the game and hope they draw themselves out, I guess. But I'm so far ahead on that. Like, it's so hard to... Oh, they tap out. I don't know what I want to do here. I want to remove that. I mean, I have no idea. They gained 4. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. Crazy that I just know what this option is. So 4, 4, and a 6. 3, 6. I get to one more helix. So if I have 8 mana, I just don't think I have enough mana. I don't know. I don't know how I get there. I basically have to have them be on a dead turn again, I guess. I guess that's where I'm at. This is out for no board wipe. Sure. Yeah. This is the part where, like, not having to get lost in my deck sucks. Even a split up doesn't necessarily get us that bad. It's just that Lightning Helix is getting kind of negated by the authorities. Sure. They want to make their tokens 5/5s when they make them. Okay. Ultima. That's what I'm saying, bro. I just don't know what's going on here. Oh boy. Sure. Don't need that one. 2. Here. Those. Oh, I guess. Oh, the amount of spells I don't have. What a game. Somebody tell me to put Get Lost in my deck, dude, please. Sure. Sure. Are they making a token here? There's nice fountain ports. Carrot cake. Sure. This is more worth to play. I have 12. We need to get these. Dude, the fact that I know my entire library is insane to me. So we want to put these two on the bottom because we want to get to this helix as fast as we can. Yeah. Sure, dude. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I guess. No, we don't want them to. Sure. Mm-hmm. You know this card. 6, 12, a lot. 12. Oh, what to do? I have no idea. Can it only choose up to one target creature, then airbend all until your next turn? Your opponents can't cast them from anywhere. Am I supposed to airbend these? I think so. These two? These two? Just playing kind of around the split up action here. I'm also just playing around the fact that my opponent can win. Always victories. This basically has to be... So this can't be an ultimate, because why would they play this, right? It's most likely a split up. So we do this. I want to do it before they play the Caretaker's Talents. And remember, this does enter tapped because of my 2 authorities. And then we're going to gain 2, scry 2. I mean, we'll just take any spell. I mean, the craziest part is I can look at this and go, you know, we actually want this at the bottom because there's a Shiko there. Weird, but the information that Arena gives you, you should use. Also, I want it to be known when I played mono white tokens, this is roughly how the games went too. I had to play against Yuna, Graveyard Yuna, and it was just this weird thing where I was digging for Rest in Peace, and my opponent was digging for, I was digging for Rest in Peace, and they were digging for Yuna, because I couldn't find a Yuna for some reason. This last card, Ultima. Like, what a bait that would be. You know what I mean? Like, what a bait it would be to play the voice out, force me to play my stuff, and then they're just like, Ultima you. I'd be like, dude, fair enough. I like how it keeps asking me if I want to float mana when I can't do anything. And a split up, by the way, is fine. We can beat a split up. I just need to 6 damage, and then I have 9 more in my hand. And it looks like we're going to get that. Yep. Yep. Uh-huh. Six. And with that said, I would like to cast 3 lightning helixes to close out this game. What a game, bro. Holy. Well, we get there. It took every bit of 24 minutes, so that's pretty nice. 28 to 11. They're lacking a little. So many lands in here, by the way. But that's all from the stock ups, if you remember, where we were putting them all in the bottom. So it's like, yeah, it looks like we got pretty fortunate not drawing a lot of lands, but we chose to put them on the bottom. So, very cool. Wow, on the draw, we're going to pretend like this is fine. I just played 24 minutes to throw it away on this hand. Isn't that crazy? Sure, dude, why not? Oh, Graveyard Exile, auras. How much aura do you have? I don't know who it is, but there's like a Valorant guy. Or a person, they were playing Valorant, and they just acted like a little craphead, basically. Like a little, I don't know what I can get away with in terms of like cursing on YouTube. So I try not to. But they're being a little goofball. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sorcerer roll gives a +1 as well, so we're gonna get rid of that. Okay. If I'm dead, I'm dead here. Like if I die from here, I die from here. Land Helix Airbender seems like best. Again, if I die from here, I die from here. Like I'm not doing that. That goes to 6 damage, 8 damage. A lot more damage. 10 damage. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That felt great. I really enjoyed that. I mean, did you rip the other one? Okay, cool. 39. They ripped the ethereal armor after. Brutal. Brutal draw. So that means they don't have it, right? You have a shelter. Shelter could save them here, right? Sure. Let him scry first. Woo! Are we out? Yeah! Alright. Boom, boom. We're in. We're cooking. Give me that, boy. Give me that. Yeah, we're in now. We are in now. Don't you dare shelter me. Oh, no. And so it still continues. We go for land here, I think. Okay. So I can't pay for the ward regardless. So I should go land, technique, play land. And as long as this doesn't get flying, we're good. 2 cards, I feel pretty okay. This one. We'll do that land. We'll pass on that one. That puts us in the sweet spot. You ever stock up on your opponent's turn? I have. It felt great. I would like to stock up on your turn. That's crazy. All right, go ahead. I respect our opponent for playing it out, though, to be honest. It's just not going to go well is the only real problem. Go ahead. Sure. Yeah. Sure. Uh-huh. If you're wondering why we took that damage, we're just playing around the fact of yeah. We're playing around the fact they could have a protection spell in hand. We could have done this beforehand too. I just don't. I think we're at the like cast spells at random territory. Once we got through with them not having the protection spell on the turn like 3 and 4, the game, it is pretty much at that point. The way I like to play it is barrel it until they show you they have it. And every card that you think that they would have played the turn before, if they play it, that's the card that they drew for that turn. So, for example, the turn that they played the Ethereal Armor, we can almost assuredly guarantee that this was the card that they drew. Why? They passed the turn with 1 mana open, and if they had played this, we'd lost the game. So there's no reason that this would have been in their hand, or maybe not lost, but it would have done so much damage, and it's put your creature out of my burn range. But this would have done so much more damage to me that there is almost no reason for them not to play it. So when they drew that, we know, well, they didn't protect their 5 power plus creature that would have blown us out in 1. Well, that means they probably don't have it again. We're free to cast the spell and do it, right? So those are the weird little like tips to know and learn. After that, it was just barreling it because we could, because it just doesn't matter. Like here, bouncing this, they don't get any protection. This enters. We can either flanker if we want. We can lightning helix this guy away after, and it just doesn't matter. The game's over. Opponent first, authority on 1, wisdom, stock up. I mean, this hand seems fine. The villages enter on tap, so it's actually okay. You see basic planes, that could mean a few things. If it's Caretaker's Talent again. Okay, it's Auras again. I don't mind this matchup that much. I think this matchup's pretty good for us, honestly. I think I just want to wisdom here. I don't think I want to mess around and waste my time, so we're going to go ahead and go. They'll put a counter on it, kind of get it moving. And then we kind of hope for a tap out. Our opponent obviously could have protection spell this time around. However, a 5/4, pretty good. All right, so our opponent seems to have the protection spell here. We don't really need to get around the protection spell. So obviously we're going to grab stock up with our hand. Well, I mean, if I flood, I flood. We just need to basically flash this in, gain our life while we can. Hopefully don't give it flying or something like that. Some weird evasion. Or trample, which they kind of need green for. Alright, that can stop at any time. Estral is probably anything that wins me the video game. Flanker here. Okay, so we just have to survive an avatar for an Avatar's Wrath. And they won't have double strike again, so we should be able to. We kind of brick wall the 10 here. I feel like we don't stock up here. Right? I feel like we pretend like we could have something. Just spread it out. But this tells us more than anything that they have the protection spell. Bro, how many of these do you want? It's pretty good. Like, this is a good card. I actually like this card. I didn't know this card existed when kind of reading through it the first time. Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, it has first strike. I was like, no, that doesn't have double strike anymore, right? Am I crazy? Here. We know they have the protection spell, so honestly, I mean, I guess I can keep this because I can force them to use it, maybe. Or do I just like bin it and move? I'm gonna keep it. I submit 0. Don't want to target anything because if that target becomes invalid, it counters our wrath, I'm pretty sure. Actually, that came up in a game where I was pretty much dead in the water, but... So 1 pops, 1 doesn't get a counter. A creature will get double strike next turn. Basically have to not die to a double striker. That would go to 3. We know they have the protection spell. We just have to live here. You can probably just do the math. And this is why the helpful weaver is just so good. Sure. Uh-huh. We commit nothing here, because if we commit, they get to give it protection. That's why I thought this card was kind of bad. Do they have a second one, bro? I mean, if they have a second one, I'm dead regardless, right? Because then it'll have the hexproof, so... If they have a second one, I'm dead regardless. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Sure. The problem is it gets hexproof, and then we can't target it anyway. Yeah, I mean... It is what it is. I think I'm incredibly favored in that matchup. I only really lose if that double shard mage rescue type of stuff happens, right? Or if I just had like the early removal for their stuff when they were tapping out. Like if I was just able to remove the first one. Which is another reason this card's kind of tough to play. I don't know how I feel about it. I do think I needed to Bennett and maybe move on. Which probably would have found us his Ultima a turn earlier. And then we could have answered that. But it's whatever. He will keep, I suppose. Play a Surveillance land. We'll keep. We'll probably find a land off this, to be honest. I don't like getting rid of my river regions because they are win conditions. Land pass. A matchup that's weird, but fine at the same time. Okay, that doesn't really bother me at all. Sure. This is going to be a greedy play, but I'm going to grab the stock up. Go. Hitting the land naturally made me also question what I want to do, because I want to flash in the flanker, I think. Sure. I'm pretty okay with both of these. Here. You can reset. We'll stall for a while. And then we're definitely going to go stock up into hopefully an untapped land, play this, and then when they play a land, we smoke their Enduring Curiosity on my end step. Okay. I will say I don't actually think that this is the answer. I think I'd be much happier with just like Get Lost. But we'll see. Like, I don't even want to grab it here because I don't know if I want to take the entire few turns resetting it up, but yes. So I can always Shiko restock up. I don't really know if the Avatar's Wrath again is worth it. It does mean we have to find like the Ultima. Or let these just be good. Or this. You can have those back and just be like, go ahead. I will say if they do have another Mockingbird though, and they can play land, play Mockingbird, they can copy this. We'll see. Sure. Chico. The card behind Shiko ready to go. I don't remember what the card name is. All right, dude. Sure. Deal. Okay, so here we are with the list after, and I do think a couple of changes need to happen. And it's a bit weird because in some games, these feel so worth it, especially this card. Weirdly enough, I like the fact that it's able to hit like a really large creature. For example, the white Overlord that this was able to remove, and I gave them nothing in return, like maps. And it also exiles, so we saw against the mono white token deck that the Enduring Curiosities and Enduring Innocence and things like that, this just exiles them and gets rid of them. Or in other graveyard matchups as well, we can pick off something important, maybe like an Arden. If they bring it back, we can hit it with this, and then it's gone forever, right? So it's just weird because Avatar's Wrath, I think, is the clear, obvious cut here. I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. And this card, I think we have to go to maybe 1, which then makes this a bit worse. I don't know how many lessons we actually have that we could maybe play in their stay. So let's go Collect and Not. I guess this one we could argue. We could play it, just set them back a turn, kind of use it as an Avatar's Wrath. But maybe, like, I cut the Quenches because this card just always felt so bad. I never felt like this was the card we want to be casting. But maybe it's just randomly this. But that seems too expensive, right? And it costs 4 blue. Like, when do we have 4 blue? But I don't know. I really just don't know. Maybe we just play like a couple of these. 2 damage target creature. If it's kicked, it deals 5 instead. And maybe that's just the thing. And then maybe we could play a Redirect Lightning. But that seems a bit dangerous. What's it? Exile cards from the top of your library into exile a non-land card. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Spell's mana value is less than the number of mountains you control. Yeah, it doesn't seem like we're going to ever have that on. Destroy target artifact or land an opponent controls. This controller may search your library for a basic. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, and shuffle. Draw a card. I mean, I guess we could do that, but I just don't feel great. Maybe it's this. 2 mana, kind of a board wipe. Maybe that just replaces like the Wrath. Like this can technically be 4 damage to something, and it's also castable with Shiko. So maybe this should be our replacement right away, and it's also a cheap way to put more lessons in. You could argue to play this maybe as like a 2 of, just to play the more lesson synergy, but then I feel like we're getting a little too loose with it. Could also maybe go for something like this, because it's just an instant speed 2 mana draw card. It gives all of our lands all the types, so if we want to maybe cast something that's a bit harder, that could help us. But I just don't know. I really don't. I'm sitting here trying to think of what to do. I think this is like the best answer, and then maybe just like slotting in a couple of these. So maybe playing something more like this line and cut these entirely out of the deck. How many lands we play? We play 26, which is probably right. You could argue maybe you could play a little less because you have these and these. But I think with these lessons, we are definitely able to cut. Or maybe you just like go something like 1, and then you cut the Wrath. So maybe it's something like this, which does give us a bit more lessons to play, and it gives us kind of that flexible slot one, but it gives us 1 mana stuff. And it's not like kicking, it's hard for us to do really when we get to those late games. Sometimes we just rather, instead of like authoritying, like let's just shoot the lower end creature, and then later we can kick it, of course. Or even when Shiko comes around, I do like this card because it doesn't have like a very hard clause, and it is just able to kind of remove something. But the main drawback is like our opponent gets that attack trigger, which is a bit important, especially like the Pyromancer's Ascension, the Firebending Ascension. That allows that to happen before we can interact, or sometimes the creatures get a little big and then we can't really do much. Where Firebending Lesson might be able to pick off a creature maybe before an aura gets attached or something like that. So there's a lot of play here with these. And then I just don't know. I feel like the math works that these are fine, right? Because if you use one of these, and one of these, this is a draw 3 from there. And then it's like, how do you lose when you're just putting 3 extra cards in? And we saw in the one game where I just used it to draw 6, right? Like it didn't matter the card selection, but we just want to put more and more cards in hand. And there are like the upside games where, you know, maybe you have one of these, and then you can do like Iroh or something for whatever reason. Like that's just kind of how Arena works sometimes with some one-ofs. This just happens, right? And then you go, okay, well, now do this. And it might even be a thing where we have to trim like a Helix and go up a lesson maybe, if that's how kind of dedicated to the lessons we are. But I'm not sold on that. Maybe drop an authority and then go like maybe here and here, which I'm not like opposed to really. So also I'm just keeping everything in a sideboard to kind of talk about what. So I actually kind of like that a bit more. It gives us a little bit more leeway into what we want to do, and just allows us to play this a bit easier. So we're really likely to have one or at least one of these, and then one of these, and then when we get into the later game, like we can do whatever. And then Shiko has more targets early than we had in the past. The only problem now comes down to, hey boss, where's your actual board wipes? Like, what are we doing here? And that's the kind of name of the game. I'm okay going down a River Regent, I think. River Regent almost is like entirely cuttable here. And I know that sounds insane. But I'm telling you, when this is online, I really want to do nothing else. And the meta is so weirdly fast that I definitely think you can trim a River Regent and go maybe... What? Like, what do we want? Is it the lockdown card? I just don't know what 3-mana board wipe I want to play. I like almost want to play this. But I kind of like just shutting off all the creature's ability in case like our opponent does some crazy stuff. But choose creature, your control gains indestructible. Avatar's Wrath doesn't didn't feel that bad. I'm just not sure with all this removal here how many board wipes I truly need. But I don't want to trim here. I have removal, mash removal, kinda, maybe not. Kinda removal, maybe airbending something, maybe removal. And then it's just like, after this, like, how many more board wipes do I actually need? Especially when I have a Shiko coming. Am I not just better putting up a Revelation, maybe? It's kind of weird. This is me also talking for advice, by the way. If people have things that they've done that are successful. And the card I was thinking about... Sorry, I didn't realize I was going to have to press for 4 years. Here, Pinnacle Starcade. Wowee. Playing a copy of this instead. Because it doesn't really affect us at all. Right? To like play it. And maybe this is just a move. But the reason we prioritized the Wrath earlier was because of the lands from the Earthbend. But honestly, I'm not even that opposed to just resetting their Earthbended lands. But this also picks up the 3-drop, the Mossborn Hydra, which is kind of one of the weird things that we want to be able to take care of. I just don't know. Oh yeah, I still have 3 mana on an artifact. But if anybody has any suggestions, this is going to be what I export. So anybody that watched the outro will know kind of the final deck list and kind of what we played throughout the video. I probably should have saved a copy before I made all these changes, but I'm going to leave it like this and do the intro like this, I guess. So, yeah, this is where I think if we want to be playing lessons, where we want to be. So, let's call it there, I guess. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching and goodbye.